What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Americans who visited Europe. What was your biggest what the F moment? I'm intrigued to see some of this, you know what I'm saying? We know what kind of shocked Americans who visited Europe. We did a video on that. What was your biggest what the F moment? Before we jump into this, what I need you guys to do is subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it? Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me, human. I talk back. You got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon, or in the description section there's a Google form link. What we got?
Americans who visited Europe, what was your biggest WTF moment? Had a positive what the fuck moment in Greece in the eastern Peloponnese, where I saw a guy walk down to the end of a pier and throw an actual fucking trident into the Aegean and pull out a wriggling octopus. Dude walked up the beach and handed it over the deck railing to a chef. You fucking saw Poseidon. Lol, it was wild. Stopped dead in my tracks when I realized he had rope coiled around his forearm and that it was actually a trident. It was like seeing a moment out of National Geographic. Spent a summer—
Bro, that's wild. That is definitely wild, bro. I can imagine like seeing that. I'll be like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, but that's amazing. Who did he? Oh, you saw Poseidon, bro. That's funny.
In Germany. They had the cleanest slash safest slash best tasting tap water, but nobody drank it and they called it toilet water.
Really?
Also, the older people in village seemed super grumpy and
mean. Is he saying this? I don't know why I'm laughing premature. Is he saying this because he drank out of a bidet? Or y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. All right, what we got? What else?
Water. Also, the older people in village seemed super grumpy and mean and would never smile or respond if you said hello or good morning. But if you asked them a substantive question, like how to get to the museum, they would spend 15 minutes telling you the fastest way to get there, the scenic way to get there, everything interesting you should do on the way there, why that museum isn't actually that good and you should go to this other museum instead, all the different ways to get to the better museum, and where their grandmother used to live before the war. About the water, we do drink it, but usually most people prefer sparkling water, which you can buy at the shop, or you—
So he was just, it was actual regular water question. Okay, I didn't know what I'm saying, because they said it was toilet water, so I'm like, was he drinking out of a bidet thinking it was a fountain or something?
Drink it, but usually most people prefer sparkling water, which you can buy at the shop, or you have a soda stream. Funny enough, my biggest WTF moment came from an American. We were at a restaurant in Cinque Terre, Italy called Trattoria del Billy. About halfway through our meal, I overheard a guy with a Tennessee/Arkansas accent say, verbatim, in a frustrated tone, "You need to speak more American," to his waiter. "This isn't Rome. This isn't Venice. It's a small town called Manarola. The odds of finding someone fluent in your language are drastically lowered." However, this guy was pompous enough to not only continue to berate his waiter, but then tell the manager who came around that he needs to hire someone who can speak American in a foreign country, of which he obviously speaks zero of their language. Seriously, WTF. One time—
like, what, bro? Like, you're in a whole nother country, bro. Like, they speak a whole nother language than you. You feel me? Like, you have no right to tell them they need to speak more American when you're in a foreign country. You shouldn't say that in America if the person can't speak good English. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. That always baffles me.
Zero of their language. Seriously, WTF. One time in Rome, it started pouring. As I sought shelter, I saw an older man selling one single umbrella. Strange as it was, I needed that umbrella, so I haggled with him and settled on €3. He had the upper hand in that transaction. I wander over to a coffee shop to dry out for a little bit. When I go to leave, the umbrella is no longer in the bucket by the door. Upset at myself for being so trusting, I head into the rain again. Guess who I see? The same old man selling the same umbrella. I try to confront him about stealing back my umbrella, but he claims not to remember our interaction at all. It's pouring and I have a number of miles to walk, so I go through the same charade with him again to re-procure the umbrella. At least this time he took €2. That is an old scam tactic. Going to a soccer game in Italy. When buying a ticket, they needed to know which team I was rooting for to determine where I could sit. Then, during the game, people were setting things on fire. I'm British and currently living in America. This guy was telling me about a big college football rivalry game and how where the two sets of fans meet, things can be a bit crazy. It turns out he meant that the chants they shout might slip in a cheeky swear word or something, because when I asked him if there's a fence between the fans he looked at me like I was crazy, and I had to explain that most games in Europe require fencing or lines of police to stop fans going at it, and there's even charities set up because people stab fans from other teams and have even murdered them in the past. A friend of—
What is going on, bro? Like, I understand being a huge sports fan. Like, I love basketball. But I don't think I could ever get to the point of, like, stabbing somebody or even fighting somebody. No, I could argue. We could yell. But, okay, y'all fans are on a whole nother level. Y'all fans is, like, really, like, part of the team. You feel me? Like, part of the team, part of the team. Okay. I see
people stab fans from other teams and have even murdered them in the past. A friend of mine got stabbed in Rome outside a stadium in which Rome had just lost to a British team.
Wow.
They heard him speaking English and attacked him. He almost died. He's American and didn't even know a match was being played. Yeah, I'm Brazilian, and when I've been to basketball games in the US I always laugh at the announcements asking fans not to swear. If people tried to enforce that rule here, there would either be riots or the security guys would get killed. Late to the thread, but here goes. Went to Sweden on a vacation package. Stayed at a wonderful historic hotel for part of the trip that had a restaurant inside of it. Part of our package called for a free dinner at the hotel, and we had asked that it be the night we arrived. We arrived and got settled in our room and then went to check out the restaurant. As soon as we walked in, there was no one there, only a hostess. She immediately said they were expecting us and we could sit anywhere. There was no one else in this gorgeous, ornate restaurant. A waiter came out and said they had prepared a special meal for us. We asked why it was so empty and he said the restaurant was closed one day a week and today was that day. We were shocked. We apologized profusely and told them that we had booked through another company and would have just scheduled it for another day. He said it was no problem and we had some free extras such as wine and dessert. The main course ended up being a huge piece of meat, which we jokingly said must have been because we were big fat Americans. No one rushed us, we had a great time, and after we left they closed the restaurant for the night.
That's crazy, bro. Like, yeah, that sucks because you feel bad for doing that. Know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to do that. The only day that they're closed is you don't want to do that, and they didn't know, obviously, and so that just kind of sucks.
Had a great time,
like
and after we left they closed the restaurant for the night. It was a total WTF moment because if you booked something like this in America, they'd either force you to reschedule or just have the restaurant closed with no explanation.
Facts.
Every meal in Paris taking 3 hours. I loved the culture and I'm all about eating a relaxing meal, but sometimes it was just like WTF when we were on a schedule and had to meet up with a tour group or had reservations for something. Try getting your bill when you're in a hurry. Impossible. I was in Scotland this summer and in Edinburgh I asked someone for directions. They told me just go past the Tron in a very thick accent. Though she was saying train, except while walking to the train I saw earlier I noticed a bar called the Tron. In UK, we navigate by pubs. My American friends who visited the Netherlands, completely surprised by our bicycle things. A, so many bicycles everywhere. B, everybody riding without a helmet. C, so many different bicycles. While in Amsterdam 2 years ago, saw a woman with 2 kids in the wheelbarrow contraption at the front of her bike, and a baby strapped to a seat behind her. Not a helmet in sight.
Oh my
If
god!
you tried that in Toronto, city councillors' heads would explode
Yes.
en masse. I was a military
100%.
brat living in Belgium when I saw a commercial on AFN, Armed Forces Network, that gave new arrivals to Europe a quick rundown of things. The one thing I learned and that has stuck with me is no right turn on red. For me it was a lack of insects in England. Not that they don't exist, but I'm from Michigan with lots of swampy land around me. When I showed up at my dorm and saw there was no screen on my window, I was just thinking about all of the bugs that are gonna get in my room. I got one fly the entire month stay there.
Wow.
Yeah, if you leave your window open at night with the lights on, you might get a couple of moths and the occasional spider, but we're really lucky with our relative lack of biting insects and flies.
That's very nice. Shoot, okay. I see why you can leave the door open without a screen, and nobody told me that. It makes sense. Okay.
Spider, but
Bugs
we're
ain't
really
in
lucky
there.
with our relative lack of biting insects and flies. It was subtle at first, but it eventually boggled my mind how old everything was, and it was still integrated into everyday life. Like in the UK, drinking in pub that had been in the same spot since the 11th century, or eating dinner at restaurant in an 18th cathedral. Or in Prague, going to club in a 14th century stone cellar, or staying a hotel/brewery that had been operating since the 15th century.
So awesome.
The oldest building in my vicinity is from the 1750s, which is prehistoric by US standards, but, like, someone in Europe sees a building that is half a millennia old that no one is using and they're like, let's turn this into a disco. I loved it. Edit, decide to do some quick research for perspective. The oldest surviving Native American structure in the US dates to 750 AD. The oldest structure from Spanish colonists is from 1521. The oldest structure from English colonists is from 1637. I live in England and the village near me has a pub from the early 1700s that's seen as modern because the village itself and the surrounding buildings and other pub is from the pre-Doomsday Book era, 1086. I forget sometimes just how old this country is. Beer tap in the uni cafeteria. Drinking one beer with your lunch from time to time is not considered special at all in Germany. Drinking greater than 2 beers every day for lunch makes you an alcoholic. The Czech Republic may not have a concept of alcoholic. How easy and unencumbered by useless bullshit most things are. Getting on a 5:30 train from Brussels to Berlin? Show up at 5:20. And get laughed at by the Germans who will finish their beer at exactly 5:28 because they know the walk from the bar to the platform is 1 minute and 57 seconds. In the States,
They right on time. They said, no, we got another 8 minutes. You show up at 5:20, we going 5:28, we out of here. Be there at 5:30 on the dot. That's funny, bro.
From the bar to the platform is
I
1
love
minute
that.
and 57 seconds. In the States, that would require showing up at 3:15 because of at least 4 security checkpoints and 8 lines of people who can't figure out how an escalator works.
Big time.
Jesus, you're not lying. Going through Germany, a bowling team, I assumed based on their garb, got on with 4 cases of beer between 6 guys. I thought they were just taking them to a night out. Nope. Drank every last drop in under 3 hours. After hour 2 they grabbed some sort of brass instrument from the overhead rails and had a straight up old man dance party. Germany seems to be winning this thread so far.
Yes.
At a lake retreat in Germany, kids playing in / around the lake naked.
What?
2 American kids not play naked? What is it?
No.
The Alabama of Europe. I was a lifeguard for 3 summers. A Russian family moved in and brought their kids to the pool. Their daughter, 10 years old, swam around topless, but with a bottom on. There are health department regulations about swimsuit bottoms, but not tops, so there were no rules against it, and I'm sure there are no laws against it, so I didn't say anything. But all the other 10-year-old kids were shocked and I could hear them talking and wondering if there was something wrong with her. I guess they learned more about American culture, so next year their kids all wore full bathing suits. I think there was a Nirvana album with a naked baby's penis on it, and they had to cover it up with a sticker to sell it at department stores. The sticker read, "If this offends you, then you're a Peter," or something like that.
I love this, bro. This is funny. That's crazy, though. Oh yeah, I can't imagine being 10 and then seeing a 10-year-old with their top out, bro. I would have been shocked. Like, okay. But this is funny. I absolutely love these. That's all we got for this one. You guys got a favorite video? Anything you want to see or hear me react to? You can subscribe to Patreon, leave a suggestion, or in the description section, there's a Google form link. Hit the link, fill out your suggestion, send it to me. Want me to get to yours faster than others? Fill out premium. Make sure you hit subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You can subscribe to any of it. Follow the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy D Neal. Out.